Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational program. You can find the picture book on Amazon, and the educational program information I'll include in the description box below. Well, this is day two of coffee and its effects on our bodies and our system. And the reason why I kind of segued into this particular conversation because we've been really focusing on self-esteem and mindfulness and affirmations because my book and the educational program that goes along with it focuses on self-esteem, and self-esteem is feeling good about oneself. Well, we started with the internal makeup of how we can have a better or positive mindset. And as I was reading this article of how successful people stay calm by Travis Bradberry, he had one segment dedicated to how caffeine can somehow rob us of that sense of calm if we overindulge. And so that's what brought me to look a little bit more deeply into how coffee works because I've always enjoyed my cup. And over the years, I had many medical professionals as well as naturopathic doctors saying, no, just cut down on your coffee. And, I did, at times, sometimes I didn't. I used it as like my magic bullet when I was tired. And so anyway, I wanted to look more deeply into why coffee has this two-faced uh, look at, whereas the bulletproof coffee is supposed to be great for us. And then I read, on the other hand, coffee isn't good for us. So I needed to look into it more deeply myself to see what is it about coffee that has these two very different appeals and how people express im- its importance on one hand and detriment on the other. So anyway, I looked into the cortisol effect, which we talked about yesterday, and there've been some cortisol studies that showed after drinking coffee, it mimics a person in acute stress. And after long periods of consumption, it can damage our neuroendocrine immune system. And I hadn't heard of that particular system, that it was combined in any way, but I looked into that, did some research, and the neuroendocrine cells are like nerve cells. And I found out that it has neurons and they're spread throughout the body, just like nerve cells. Um, it makes hormones like the cells of our endocrine system. And they receive messages from the nervous system and respond by making and releasing hormones, which control many of the body's functions. So anyway, I looked at several studies and I mentioned that caffeine, adenosine, which blocks sleepiness, which is why most of us drink coffee, and the cortisol, which releases glucose into the bloodstream for that added energy, also increases serotonin levels, which is that feel good chemical. So together they make a completely wonderful chemical soup for stress because we get actually agitated and edgy when we don't have our cup of coffee because the serotonin is being taken away from our system, which it has gotten used to. So we drink more coffee, and that's, it's not bad. Serotonin is a good thing, but without it, we feel as, oh, we felt better with that cup of coffee, and that's why we feel crabby without our cup of coffee. So I've noticed when I'm stressed, I tend to become more susceptible to catching things, colds and flus, and kind of see where I'm going with this, because stress suppresses our immune system overall. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper into that tomorrow and talk about how it affects our metabolism. But an article that I'm including in this talk is just chock full of important facts about how caffeine affects our hormones, metabolism, our brains. And this is from a naturopathic doctor, and he's quick to explain that he's referring to overconsumption. taking numerous cups of coffee throughout the day. And he said, if you do that and combine it with stress, a sedentary lifestyle, and the poor diet, read sugar, it's like a recipe for a really bad, healthy health plan. So we don't want to combine those. And I thought about this article in particular because of the quarantine. A lot more of us are at home. A lot more of us are sitting in front of computers doing our work. And I, for one, am trying to take a 20-minute break. I work for 20 minutes, and I'm actually going to start using an egg timer to let me know, oh, it's time to get up and walk. And I've taken on, since the gyms are closed, an online exercise program, high intensity interval training program, 5 days a week, because I really know that sedentary lifestyles are so easy when you're at home in one place. And, even walking up and down the stairs can break up that monotony. So, anyway, my whole purpose of doing these talks is to try to help parents at home who are attempting to help their children. And, we want to have a good, positive mindset to be that role model for our children. And I think cutting down coffee might be one of the ways of launching into that positive mindset. I have a friend. We have a friend who happens to be a therapist, and he suggests a half a cup of coffee. He says that won't hurt you like the cup, that never-ending cup of coffee that you have the coffee pot on the warmer, and you just go back and refill throughout the day, and it's hard to tell how many cups of coffee you've actually had. So anyway, this is the second part of our coffee, cortisol and adenosine affects how it affects us. And tomorrow we're talking more about the metabolism and our diets. So until then, take care and hope you have a wonderful, non-jittery day. Okay, thank you.